Hey YouTube, we dug our holes, we set our poles. Now it's time to make an H-brace. First thing we're going to do is we're going to measure this pole up so we can try to get it fairly level. I'm going to measure up on this pole. It's going to be higher on this pole than it is on the other one, you know, because of the slope. I don't know if you can see it on film, but it's a pretty good slope here. So we know our fence, it's going to be a high 10-foot wire, 49 inch. So we don't want our cross pole above the wire, we want it below it. So we're going to come up about 45 inches and mark that. Because remember, it's going to be lower on this pole. So 45, oh great, right in that knot. Alright, now, here's a little trick to get our holes level, because we're going to drill through here and drill through there. Take your string, tie it around that mark. Alright, you bring your string over, throw it on this pole, get that tangle out. Get yourself a line level. And then you just have to move your string up and down to get that bubble set. There it is right there. Hold it. Doesn't have to be perfect. And there you go. So now, when we drill our holes to put our cross brace, it's going to be fairly level. Well, here's the plan, YouTube. This is what we're going to use to secure our cross brace. It's a 1/2 inch lag screw. So we're going to drill through this. It's going to come through the pole and into our cross brace. Actually, we got our cross brace down on the ground here. So first things first, we got to get these holes drilled out. Okay, so let's get these holes dug. We're going to use a 1/2 inch bit for our lag screw. We're going to drill from the inside because that's where we marked it. Let's hope we got enough juice in this thing. Okay, got that one. Let's get the other side. Okay, we're going to get our lag bolts started. So from the back, and we only want them to stick out just a little bit. That way we can hook them onto the cross pole. There we go. Time to work on our cross pole. So let's give this a measure. We got 59 1/4. Let's get that marked out. 59 1/4. Okay, let's figure out a way to cut this. Alright, let's take our trusty Sawzall. Luckily we got a nice little rock here. See if we can get something done. Not bad. Okay guys, here's the switch. Now, we wanted to make this lag bolt go through here easily, but we don't want it to go through our cross brace easily. So we're going to switch bits. We're going to take off this 1/2 inch and we're going to throw in a 3/8 inch bit. And this way, when we screw it in, it's going to be nice and tight on our cross pole. So we'll set up our cross pole and we'll just kind of eyeball the center, see if we can't get a hole in there. We're going to need it at least as long as what we got sticking out of here. That should do it. Let's get the other side. Plenty long enough. There we go. Drive that sucker in there, and I think we'll be good. There you have it. We're ready to put some cross bracing on here, some wire, and then we got us an H brace. Now, you see how much easier that is just to use those long lag bolts. The reason I don't use a piece of rebar is because I don't really want to be pounding on these poles. I just set them, they're nice and straight, and I don't want to beat on them, you know, at least until I get all this bracing on. We're going to put a couple of nails in them so we can run our wire, but even still we're just going to tap them in. Let's get our nails in here. We want our wires to go just above this pole, because I kind of want the wire to grab around the pole. That way if this pole ever gets loose, I don't know how it'll ever do it, but that wire's grabbing onto that pole. So we'll just do it just above. Now you see how this nail is? I don't know if you can see that. You don't really want to go straight into the grain. See this crack? If you were to just nail this into a crack, it would loosen up. So cant your nail just a little bit, if you can see that. Cant it a little bit, and that way you're grabbing this long grain and this long grain. Make sense? And that's just to string our wire through. Let's pull this wire. Doesn't really matter which way you string this wire. It's a pain in the butt regardless. There are cables made for this where you just tighten them with a gripple, but you know, they're like $100. So do a little more labor, save a lot more money. Let's run this through. This is a 9-gauge wire. You get this at Tractor Supply, and it's for this purpose. Okay, so you get that dog in there. Just give it a bend. Try to show you on this side. And I just wrap it 3 or 4 times. Yeah, maybe 4 or 5. Give yourself a nice loop. That's it. Grab these bolt cutters. Now remember, this is 9-gauge wires. You don't want a little pair of wire snips to deal with this stuff. Let's give it a measure. The tighter you pull it now, the less you have to spin it. So now we got to tension this thing. We're not going to go crazy tensioning it. We just want to wind it up, put some tension on it. Now, here's the next tip. Remember, our fence is going on this side of the pole. So you don't want this sticking over here to snag your fence. So you got to figure out which way to wind so you get your piece of rebar on this side of the fence, okay? So we're going to wind backwards. And you want to make sure you got enough room where it's going to grab the fence. You can adjust it accordingly. Go give it one more turn. And what we're going to do is we're going to secure that piece of wire on the back with another fence staple. Okay, we'll run our wire the other way. We'll be good to go. Now you want to make sure both of these strands are on the same side. You don't want to cross to the left of this and then to the right of this, because when you wind, this will inhibit your wind and you won't get it nice and tight. You'll know if you make that mistake when you start winding. Alright, we're just going to make our loop up here. Remember, if you give it a little bend, you make a little handle to help you wind. That's it. Tighten it up. Just got to remember which way you wound. See, I got that too high. What we'll do is we'll just get some tension off it and just move this down. See that? Try to measure it up. That's where we'll put it. That'll do it. Secure that with a nail. Now these side ones are only to keep the wire in place, so you don't have to pound down on these. Actually, it's probably better if you don't, because you know this wire is going to expand and contract with the weather.